Hello, and welcome back to Soul Star Radio. I'm Jacquelene Close-Moore, your host from Melbourne, Australia, and I'm accompanied, of course, by the very wonderful and rather magnificent psychic healer and also spiritual author, Mr. Raul Estevez, who is coming to you live from the Sofitel in Sydney. Lovely background you've got there, Raul. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I am doing, I don't know how the rest of the people in the world are doing, but I'm doing extremely well. I'm very fortunate, as you said, to be here at the Sofitel Darling Harbour in Sydney. As you can see, beautiful background and having an amazing time. And yes, we were dancing on the ceiling with Lionel Richie last night at the Star venue here in Sydney. One night only concert. It was amazing.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. So what sort of songs was he playing? And take us back to the days of Lionel Richie there a bit.
You know that he was actually doing a really good thing in the background. He was actually showing us his career, where he came from. So he went all the way back from the late 70s and up until now. And it was a beautiful journey. And it's beautiful to see an artist of his age that he can still carry a tune. And in such a lovely venue, very because the theater is a theater, it's not a stadium. So he no longer does big venues, he does really intimate venues. And such a gentleman and really charismatic, as you see it on television, he was with the audience. And it was amazing, beautiful show.
What a wonderful thing to go and see. And certainly he's, certainly when I was growing up and probably when you were growing up as well, it's sort of you remember those sorts of songs and his voice, carrying us through those sort of times.
He opened up the show with just coming from the wings of the theater singing Hello. And the whole
Yep.
venue just erupted. And the magnificent thing is that he's doing the one night only. So it's not 3 or 4 shows in one city. He's in one city, does that show and moves on. And so I was very, very fortunate to have my beautiful niece, Veronica, and her husband, Daniel, to buy that as a surprise for me, to stay here at the Sofitel in Darling Harbour. And I am really spoiled, but ever so grateful.
Beautiful. What a lovely surprise from them. And you're actually moving up to Sydney later on this year as well. Is that in June?
It's in June, mid-June. I'm actually moving to Sydney permanently. So for people that they know me here in Sydney, you're going to have me here more often, because before I was flying in and out, and now I'm going to be more permanently here. And it's a city that when we first came to Australia, it was home. So
Yep.
I'm coming back home.
Beautiful. Absolutely wonderful to hear. I'm really excited for you. And I'll have to make sure that I stop by when I'm in Sydney, actually stop by and make a lunchtime for you.
Listen, you will always have a room at my place in Sydney.
And always you'll have room at my place too. So you've got it happening. It used to be in the old days, actually. I remember when my auntie was a spiritualist reverend and member on numerous committees. And she would actually, that was back in the old days when everyone actually, gave someone a room at their place so that whenever you were travelling, you always could be somewhere. And it's a real camaraderie that often these days everyone's checking into apart hotels and all that sort of thing. And so, yeah, it's a really nice thing when you see that.
That's the version that we knew of what we now, the new generation called Airbnb.
Yep. Exactly.
We were couch surfing.
Yeah, couch surfing's a great thing. So is a plastic lilo in the back of the station wagon if you're really desperate. But, it's all doable. Now, we've actually got some callers today we're going to go to and do some readings. And we've got Beatrice in Junction City, Kansas, USA. Are you there, Beatrice?
I'm here.
Hello and welcome to the show. Thanks so much for calling in. We've got Raul Estevez here, and feel free to ask him a question and he can do a reading for you.
All right. So I'm actually calling in regarding my mother. She passed away in 2008 with cancer, and I'm just trying to get healing on that and actually see if she's in peace.
Okay. The message that I'm actually getting is quite strong. Do you know that we talked, Beatrice, about ascension? And when the soul leaves the human body, we're going to that ascension journey. But this is much more than ascension. And I got a card here that is staring me in the face from my deck of cards, Guiding Star of Life. And the card for your relative is transformation. Is that idea that it broke free from the cocoon of the human body and is transforming in such a spiritual being that the message to you is you have nothing to worry about. And the clear message that is given me in my ear is, I am so happy now. So if you have a look at this card, you've got beautiful butterflies, truly transforming and showing the true colors. That soul is truly not going to come back to Earth anymore because has truly learned all the lessons and is ascending much higher than we could ever imagine. So please know that that transformation has taken place. They're always going to have a link to you, but truly they keep on saying, you have nothing to worry about. I am happy now. Jacquelene?
That's what I'm sort of feeling from her as well. When she was originally talking about her mother, I was actually really going straight into this very peaceful feeling with the mum and feeling that there's this real kind of sense of relief. And it's also like as if mum was actually herself at times intuitive about things and had trouble you sort of knowing how to deal with that or how to process that, whether to say something about that, whether to not say something. Oh, I'm getting this feeling, but people will think I'm nuts if I say something. And so she sort of sometimes is withholding there and not just coming through with what she's getting. So that's what I really was getting from her mum. And so there's this real sort of sense of, oh, it's okay. I get it. I'm like, okay now, I just want you to know I'm all right. And please remember to listen to yourself and your heart, she's saying, about, how to kind of navigate things in your life where you're just not quite sure. Of course, we always need to be looking at the logic and bringing the rational into things and doing all that sort of stuff. But there is a real kind of emphasis here on making sure that you just take it literally one step at a time at this point in your life. You can't kind of push anything at the moment. It's all about just taking the one step at a time. And please do start listening to yourself more. Sometimes you're doubting yourself and questioning yourself.
One thing, Jacquelene, that is coming through for Beatrice that Mom is actually saying is, watch out for your base chakra, because at the moment, it's kind of like your foundation is a little bit shaky, Beatrice, but it's okay to be shaky because you can actually build on that and build it really strong. From there, you're going to grow. It's kind of like you're building this pyramid, and the ground is shaking at the moment because you don't know which way to go. Just center yourself and know that you're rebuilding. Your mom link is there, and she keeps on saying, I am happy now. So feel the happiness and build on that, because then everything will come into alignment for you.
Absolutely, and it goes back to that thing about the doubt. Don't sort of keep double guessing and doubting yourself. So that's aligning with that base chakra message. Sorry, go ahead there.
This sounds
Beatrice?
perfect.
Yeah. You really are a beautiful soul, and it's a really time to build on your confidence, build on your sense of worth for yourself, your sense of looking after you. And I really love the message that Raul has brought through to you as well. And we're kind of coming from different angles, and some of them complementing, crossing over and going backwards and forwards. It's like tying your shoelaces in a way. So I hope that helps you.
Yes, that definitely did help me. I do want to thank y'all.
Thank you.
You are so very welcome. What a beautiful heart there, Beatrice. You really, Raul, in Beatrice's energy, she's just got a wonderful heart, and just comes through loud and clear.
Was coming so strong, saying, "I'm really happy."
Oh yeah, I was getting that, and I was getting this real mauve with Mum, and that energy really is when someone's actually really quite perceptive, but I don't know, should I say something?
Yeah.
So, it's kind of some, I guess, cultural and in some ways family background sort of, oh, hang on, I better not say that. So, what an amazing energy your mum's got there. Now, we've also got another call there. We've got Myra in Miami Beach, Florida. Hello there, Myra.
Hey, how are you guys over there? Happy night today for you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. Absolutely beautiful energy you've got there, and what a golden ray of sunshine you usually are. But we've got Raul Estevez here. He's a psychic spiritual author, and he's also got a beautiful deck of cards that he's reading from today, which are his own. And so he'd be happy to do a reading for you if you would like to ask him a question and say hello.
Yes, I would like to know my near future. What is the first card that he pull out, and that way I can know about it.
Okay, let's have a look. Oh, beautiful. Look, you've got a major card, and it's a simple message, but it's a beautiful message. And the card is actually faith. And the main message of faith is believe with all your heart, Myra. And you've got the beautiful butterflies here with a purple color and the beautiful azalea. And the azalea is an angelic flower that it brings that message of faith. But it's not that faith on the Creator, that faith on God, is that faith on the Creator within you, Myra. And sometimes what they're actually showing me is that you are doubting yourself. And they're saying, you know what, believe in you. We believe in you. And we're giving you this card as a message. Don't reach for the stars, go for the universe, because it's truly yours for the taking. And what you got to give, nobody else has. So embrace the gift that you've got. You doubt at times your intuitive capabilities. And you know what? Don't doubt them because they're really strong. And if you embrace them, I wouldn't be surprised that if in the future you are doing what we do. And you're actually helping people in a way that you are thinking, well, who am I to do this? You know who you are. You're Myra. And embrace that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. You're super right. Everything you say is correct.
Beautiful.
Absolutely loving that, Myra. And I was really also getting that coaching energy coming through with you. So what Raul is talking about is really bang on there. And, so it really does come through to me as well. And I kind of see it as coaching people. You're really uplifting people. And a lot of the time you are doing that. And you'll find yourself, if you're out in public and someone will come up to you and go, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hang on a minute, why are they telling me this? And it's like, well, there's a few reasons. Sensitive people attract the most interesting people, but also sensitive people, who have the integrity, have that warm, open, loving heart that you've got, which is why I was talking about you being a ray of sunshine when we first started. They're naturally, people will feel safe. You're their safe harbour. They can come to you. They can tell you what's happening for them. And they know that you're going to respect them. They know you're going to be very caring, loving, and that, that you may have the answers. There can just be some times where you would rather just not have to interact. And for those moments, I'd strongly suggest, now, here's a bit of magical stuff just for a moment. You can get yourself a pair of silver mirrored sunglasses. Now, the mirroring part needs to be silver. There's a reason for that, because they see themselves in that, and silver, and it's sort of like, hey, it's okay, but not open for business right now. Need a bit of space. And you have earbuds on, and so you just walk down the street, earbuds on, mirrored sunglasses, nothing happening. But what you'll find, I think, in your case, and by the way, anyone can use that really just feels like, oh, I'm just overwhelmed, I need space for myself. But a lot of the time you won't need anything like that. I'm just saying it because there's other people listening who sometimes can really use tools like that to give themselves space if they don't feel they can create that. I do feel you're going to be able to create that quite well, but if you do ever find that you just had enough today, silver mirrored sunglasses, earbuds, keep walking, and it will just it creates a nice safe space when you're out, if you're having to walk down the street or, go through the shopping centre or public transport, because that's always an interesting place to meet new and interesting friends.
Not to absorb the energy.
Not to absorb, absolutely, because silver's got that caring but repelling kind of quality. It's a mirroring
effect, as you were saying.
Yeah, and I do that with silver rather than gold when it comes to that sort of situation, because gold will still be warm and inviting, and we sort of, just a bit of space. So I hope that gives you just another angle to look at this. And yeah, I would really use that to just sometimes create a bit of space for you. I think it can really help. So I hope that helps you today, Myra.
Thank you very much to you guys, and have a beautiful night. We're being so grateful to talk to you guys, and have a blessed night to you, to all your people that listen to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aren't we blessed today there, Raul? We've got some beautiful hearts there. We always do, but it's just really interesting how people connect in, isn't it?
But also, what is really interesting as well is that, in particular for me, Jacquelene, this. I know that we're talking geography and we're talking a change of environment, but I'm actually finding myself stepping into my flow more and more and more. And the more that we do that, and this is not because I'm anyone special, it's because when you step into your flow, you're actually attracting that sort of souls to be in your circle. And that's what I say to people, just keep an eye on the energy that you are projecting, because those are the people that you're attracting. And that example that you gave, I thought that it was brilliant, because sometimes, and particularly in big cities such as Melbourne, Sydney, where there's a lot of people around, you need to protect yourself, you need to shield a little bit, because otherwise people like us that were very intuitive and compassionate, we tend to absorb. And in order not to absorb, okay, let's work out certain techniques that will allow us to be ourselves without taking it all on our shoulders.
I'm having a giggle because, my first time back on public transport, like ever in a decade, because, that was my little safety barrier, was being in a car or being on a push bike or just walking. But I was actually on a train for the first time ever. And somebody hadn't managed to shut themselves down properly, and I was sitting diagonally opposite to a guy, and I could see far too much about him that I didn't have evidence for. I'm not a police person, so I can't arrest him. And I was like, no, I'm pulling myself back in. Because I'm going to get up and strangle him because I know what he gets up to. Let's just call it that. And it was so mirrored glasses, earbuds, music. Shut that out, because as a psychic you can pick up that much about people, and as an empathic person, my gosh. So it's really sometimes really important to let the earth angels do the job that your empathic stuff is picking up on but has no physical evidence for, can't do anything about, must pull back. And the thing was, I was looking at him, he was looking at me, and we knew what we both knew, and and it is that having to pull back and go, it's not my time, it's not my place, this is not, I don't have the permission for this. So that's the grounding that we have to do. So the glasses, the earbuds, any sort of techniques and methods, and by the way, now I'm great on trains, it's fine, you don't have to worry, the police don't have a concern here. But
also nowadays in public transport, particularly here in Australia and in countries, in many countries around the world, cameras are available, yes, on the actual trains or trams or whatever it may be. So that sort of actions are actually recorded, and people are actually later on prosecuted by police.
Yes.
So it's not, but what you're describing in the earlier days, we didn't have a mobile phone, we didn't have anything like that to be able to say, I got you here on camera.
Yeah, well, the thing is I was picking up on stuff that he was doing that he wasn't doing on the train, but doing in his life that I think was well and truly jailable. But once again, as psychics, we have to sit back in that space of knowing, okay, well, I know that, but I must detach from that. So it is sometimes a challenge for people.
It's about learning to choosing yourself first, yes?
Yep.
To be able to say, well, I am number one, but also to be able, like the old saying, choose your battles, yes? There are certain things that sometimes we don't truly need to get involved. And other times that you are called upon to say, you need to take charge of this. And you will know, you will feel it. And I usually say to people, when you have that sort of confrontation, truly drop into your heart chakra and ask the question, is this my battle? And if it's no, then let it go. But if it is, acknowledge and go for it.
Oh, yeah, and that is a perfect one for people when they're out in that situation, because we're talking about not only how we're affected and need to shield, but also how we need to pull ourselves back and pull back into the heart and go, this is not for me to do, and this is not the time, but I'm being shown, for various reasons. I could be holding witness. It could be that look into someone like that when they can see you've looked right into them. They go, oh, hang on a minute, I'm not doing the right things in my life. That could be maybe sometimes. That can sometimes happen. It doesn't mean that you should do that on purpose to try and elicit that. It's just, it can be in the moment. But it was an interesting experience for me getting back on the public transport, because I can understand what other psychics go through who might have to travel on public transport. So the things to do, get into your heart before you get on the train. Put the shield around you as well so that you can stay in the heart. Ask that anything that you're shown that is done in a way that you can handle and that you can let go of anything that you don't need to process. What other things would you put in there?
But as I usually say, and you know what, Jacqueline, we don't need to be all psychics. We are all beings of energy, yes? Mm-hmm. And we transmit that energy to one another with a glance, with a smile, or with a dirty look. And you actually get that. So the idea is to be able to, I usually just simply, before I get out onto my day, I ask Archangel Michael, the chief archangel, to please shield me, and with his sword of truth and light, to cut any cords to people and places and situations that they don't belong in my circle.
Yeah, beautiful,
so I do not go into battle for the wrong battles.
Yes.
And also engage earth angels. And you know what? Sometimes an earth angel is a policeman.
Yep. Love it.
And if you see something that is not right, don't take it upon yourself. You don't need to be the hero. You just need to be able to point somebody in the right direction.
And in Australia, that would be 000. And in the US, that would be 911. And if you're in the UK, it's 999.
Correct.
I know far too much about that stuff. But it's a good subject. Yeah, because
don't let something run because you don't want to engage. There are other ways that you can do, when you're seeing something not right, but you don't need to fully engage.
I think it was good for me because I'm usually so very disciplined, and this moment of absolute, what the hell, Jacqueline, you didn't prepare yourself before getting back on this. Oh, well, okay, because normally we're good, but it is why discipline's really important. So sometimes I teach through my own bad lessons. It's not do as I say, not as I do, but it's, hey, look, I did this stupid thing, because it just helps everyone realise we're human too.
Exactly the point, Jacqueline, and I usually say, we are souls living a human experience, so we need to allow ourselves to live the human experience. We cannot all be esoteric and ascending all of the time because we live in a society, yes? And we came here to learn many lessons, and that was your lesson to learn.
I had a good one. It's been wonderful having you on the show again. I really look forward to next month and connecting with you again as well. And I love the beautiful sky behind you. You're having a wonderful time, it feels like. And I look forward to connecting with you again, Raul.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline, once again. Thank you to Beatrice and to Myra that connected with us. Thank you for giving us your time and for your validation. And as always, a pleasure. And as I usually say, remember, believe in angels because they do believe in you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Raul. We'll catch you all same bat time, same bat channel next month for you. And for everyone else, we'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. There'll be other shows on. Keep watching, and we'll look forward to connecting next time. In the meantime, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.